In the criminal justice system, the people,
pimps, addicts, thieves, bums, winos, girls who can't keep an address, and men who don't care,
are represented by two separate yet equally important groups.
A cop, a flatfoot, a bull, a dick, John Law. You're the fuzz, the heat, you're poison, you're trouble, you're bad news.
These are their stories.
I'll get to the Vegas situation in a second, but the Stockton man charged with the murder of that Oakland cop had killed before when he was a teenager. He was charged yesterday with murder, the killing of Officer Tuan Lee. He has a prior manslaughter conviction in connection with a 2014 shootout that killed an 18-year-old. Mark Demetrius Sanders, he's 27. He's facing several other counts on top of this murder charge, including special allegations of second-degree murder of a peace officer in a drive-by shooting. Police earlier identified him as the man who opened fire into an unmarked police truck containing Lee. Lee was on an undercover detail monitoring an early morning burglary at a cannabis business on the 29th of December, last week. Also charged with murder was 28-year-old Chico resident Alan Starr Brown, who was riding in the vehicle with Sanders, possibly as the driver when Lee was shot. But to me, the extraordinary thing was that Sanders had been arrested on suspicion of homicide before. In April of 2014, when Sanders was 17, the U.S. Marshals arrested him in Modesto in connection with the killing of an 18-year-old. The 18-year-old's name, Marcellus Perry, was killed during a shootout in East Oakland. In 2015, Sanders pleaded no contest.
Oh, wow.
To voluntary manslaughter. That happened in juvenile court. At 17, he killed somebody and was able to plead no contest in juvenile court. Now, again, you know how I feel about law and order. I think we've lost our way a bit. I think the proliferation of guns, I think the society and culture having changed so much, I think we try a lot of these people as juveniles with the understanding that 18 makes them an adult, and the reality is they're an adult and have come into adulthood decisions prior to being 18. And I would offer this as Exhibit A. In any case, this is a sad coda to a guy's life that already reflected the kind of miserable act associated with murder. So now he's been charged again with the murder of this police officer, Tuan Lee. Meantime, in a Las Vegas courtroom, mayhem unfolds as a defendant charges the judge. I mean, physically charges the judge, and you can see what unfolds. Go ahead, Albert.
What should have been a routine sentencing when out of nowhere the defendant jumped the bench and lunged for the judge. Overnight, a judge attacked in a Nevada courtroom.
What?
Chaos erupting moments after what appeared to be a calm sentencing. Deober Redden, a repeat offender, had pleaded guilty to attempted battery with substantial bodily harm, but argued to Judge Mary Kay Hothus he did not deserve another trip to prison.
I feel like I should be given a shot because I'm in a better place than I was.
The judge reminded Redden of his lengthy criminal record.
3 felonies, a gross, 9 misdemeanors, multiple DVs. Got a lot going on, sir.
Still, he asked for leniency.
I feel that, I shouldn't be, sent to prison for a second time.
But the judge denied his request for probation.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that he gets a taste of something else because I just can't with that history. In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court...
Moments later, Redden leapt over the defense table and the bench, landed on top of the judge, and sparked a brawl with court officers and attorneys. Courthouse officials telling ABC News Judge Hothus experienced some injuries and her condition is being monitored. The marshal sustained injuries and has been transported to the hospital.
But this video, sadly, is a great example of how vulnerable judges are. If they would have had any information that he was going to do something this outrageous and violent, they either would have restrained him or even done this remotely.
Back in October, Maryland Judge Andrew Wilkinson was found with gunshot wounds in his driveway following a targeted attack. Wilkinson was rushed to the hospital, but later died of his injuries. According to authorities, a document appearing to be Wilkinson's final court order revealed the 52-year-old judge had issued a decision in a divorce believed to involve the alleged shooter.
Judges, in my view, many of them feel vulnerable, and rightly so. I think this case will bring to light the whole idea of how vulnerable judges are in their own courtroom.
The court said it's now reviewing security procedures and will do whatever is necessary to protect judges.
Okay, well, let me just say that you're a little late to the party with reviewing security procedures. It's insanity that guy could get off as many punches as he did. It is, I don't know, to be perfectly frank about it, when I saw this video, I thought, where's the marshal? I mean, there should be a
bailiff standing right there.
Bailiff
right?
marshal standing there. There should be a peace officer who should break that up. I mean, I don't know if you're checking your Facebook page or what the hell was going on, but I mean, I might put him on administrative leave because I know he's in the hospital right now, but he ought to put himself between the judge and the defendant in a situation like that. I don't think that was, I mean, you've got a defendant running from the defendant's table to the bench. You've got time to close, if you will, even if you just thrown yourself on the judge to protect her. So, I mean,
he came over that desk fast, though. I mean,
okay, but I mean, you've got a peace officer who's armed, and you know, I'm not saying you have to shoot the guy with a bullet. You could tase him. You could do a lot of things, but I just think, honestly, the security guy is asleep at the switch.
Yeah.
And I think there are a lot of employees that are on the public dole that are asleep at the switch. There are a lot of employees on the private dole asleep at the switch. But I'm just saying, you know, as that sentencing goes down, come on, you got to be on higher alert than that. So that's one point. The second point is we do tend to give great latitude to this defendant. I mean, you know, he was not restrained in any way. He is there for a violent offense. He was there for a violent assault.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, you know,
and it turns out her decision was correct. He proved her right?
Even if you don't want the appearance of binding his hands or whatever, then put the shackles on his legs. I don't know. It doesn't strike me as like the Rubik's Cube that everybody is talking like, well, we're going to have to review our policies. Really? Really? It's not hard. Guy's there for a violent offense. You keep him in some kind of restraint.
In some countries, in some states, I've seen pictures of courtroom proceedings where the perpetrator or the person on trial is behind a plexiglass booth. And I think maybe that's the way we have to go, because that's the only way to really keep people safe, that everyone, regardless of who you are, gets to sit in the plexiglass booth, right? Yeah,
it's indeed. I've seen we ought to put judges behind plexiglass. We ought to have, protected. But it's a sad comment, but maybe we do. Right. Maybe we do. In any case, the judge, I mean, they say they're monitoring her condition. It's just, it's brutal and it's remarkable. And of course, the video is being seen everywhere because it is just those things. That's Law and Disorder for today.
Tune in again next time for more Law and Disorder on The Mark Thompson Show.
All right, that's it. Let's roll. Hey, let's be careful out there.
Hi, it's Mark, and I thought that was great. Hit the notification bell. You'll know whenever there's a new video being dropped, and please subscribe to our channel to help us save the universe.